Dare I say, that is some jazzy, just like real jazzy and nice. Oh, what is going on there? Hold on, my audio interface is being a little goofy. Hold on. Oh god, hope that didn't carry over. That should be better though, I think. It seems a little bit better. Yeah, that's better. Anyway, hello. Yeah, you're starting your stream off right when it's just the immediate little bit of scuff. But hello! It is once again Women's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Well, we finished Highway Blossoms. Well, we didn't finish Highway Blossoms last week. We saw the DLC, but I wanted to take a little bit of an interlude before we dove back into it, right? Like, I was like, Studio Lawn does put out some good games, and I do enjoy them a lot. However, there are other devs out there. There are other visual novels out there. We can broaden our spectrum and scope a little bit more. And this particular game kind of fell on my radar a couple months ago. I think Leary and Rand did a what was it called again? It was definitely like some kind of festival. They refer to it as a festival. I think Leary or Rand made a post about it, but I don't remember. I forget exactly what it's called, and now I feel foolish. Foolish me. Oh, either way, I was watching them do a little presentation showcasing a lot of visual novels, and this was one of the ones that kind of caught my eye. Because from my understanding, this is another Yuri VN, which already, like, you got my attention there. But our main character is apparently kind of like a little bit of a thief, a little bit of a rascal, if you would. It's kind of one of those typical tales. Well, not typical, because obviously I don't know what happens. But it's definitely one of those tales where we have a mischievous little culprit who steals things, but is still beloved by the public, is my understanding. But apparently they find love along the way. And, I don't know, it just sounds fun, you know what I mean? Now, I don't believe this one is voice acted like a lot of the previous ones have been, which is fine. I'll just have to do a little bit of extra reading and strain the vocal cords a little bit more than usual, but y'all know me, I yapped the storm to begin with, so that shouldn't be a problem. But, yeah. I figured, you know what better time to jump into something new than now, right before all around the holidays. But yeah, I'm actually kind of excited about this one. I know I always say I'm like excited about stuff, and it doesn't sound like I'm all that excited, and I know that just comes from a place of I'm not the most expressive individual in the world, but yeah, this was on my radar, and now we're kind of getting to it. I'm gonna stop yapping. We're just gonna start the game. What the controller doing the thing again? Yeah, get out of here. We're not dealing with you. Wilkinson Museum of Art and History, May 5th, 12:55 a.m. This is TTV News coming at you live for Forget Me Not's latest heist. Oh, that's actually is that their name? Well, I mean, not their real name, obviously, but like their thief name. The infamous fan thief's target this time is the Sunrise Glow, one of Europe's largest topazes. Okay, I knew it was like the beloved thief route, but I didn't realize they had like full-on fans waiting for them to show up. Jeez. The museum owner and curator, Sir Wilkinson, received a calling card from the aforementioned thief just a few days prior. At 1 a.m. on the 5th, I will shine down upon the Sunrise Glow, is what was written on the card. We'll keep you updated until the time mentioned. Sending it back to the studio for now. As the feed switches back to the main station, I turn off my phone and look down at the ever-growing crowd at the foot of the museum. What a crowd. Those new kitten. Ugh. Wow. Let me drink some water before I start yapping my brains out. Ooh. Oh, also the Forget Me Not flowers on the borders of the text box. It actually is kind of a cute little touch. I like that. Those newscasters always do such a good job talking police ice. Just the way I like it. The walkie... I hate that, like, sound like the sticky keys noise. I just checked to make sure I didn't turn sticky keys on. The walkie at my hip beeps while I'm lost in thought, bringing my attention back to answer the call from the other end. How's everything looking down there? Breaker's been prepped, the jewel's been double-checked, and everything's as smooth as can be, kid. Perfect, good work. This is gonna be great. Don't get too cocky now. No worries, I'm just ready to have some fun. Everyone, listen up. Our conversation is interrupted by the very loud and just as commanding voice of the detective below in the gallery. Speaking of fun, we've only got a few minutes left before that damn thief attempts to steal the jewel. Staging ourselves at every possible entrance they could even think of using and notify me of anything suspicious. I do like the attention to detail, like all these like little art exhibits around too. You can make out. Can you see my mouse cursor? I don't think you can. Oh no, you can. There's like a little like sitting one back there, a little standing tornado. Yeah. Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir. On cue, after the detective's little pep talk, the officers spread themselves out around the vicinity, hoping to cover every entrance and exit they can with their numbers. Someone seems motivated tonight. I'm in position. It sounds so much like the sticky keys. Ah. Ready to go when you are, kid. Alright. Wait for my signal. Got it. I look back out to the crowd. Banners, flags, and posters in hand. Starting to count down to the hour. 10, 9. With a little stretch, I hop on over into position. I guess that's my cue. Let's give these people the show they're looking for. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We have an inside man. 1. In the sudden darkness, the officers stationed inside the exhibit shared worried looks and whispers with any neighbors they can see. Everyone stay calm. This is just one of their tricks. With an annoyed look on their face, the detective pulls out the radio in one hand while the other pulls out a flashlight to see around them. What's the situation in the breaker room? Sir, the breaker's been tampered with. It doesn't look like we can get up on our own. There's probably a remote switch connected to it that the thief is using. That damned. I want the breaker up and running immediately. Forget-me-not could be here any minute, right, detective? My apologies for the late start of tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. They're here! Forget-me-not. Letting out their pent-up anticipation, the crowd goes absolutely wild over my entrance. Oh, first-person narrative. The vigor and enthusiasm of the crowd outside is a stark contrast to the mood of those inside the museum, as the detective and their men surround me. Forget-me-not. We've got you surrounded. Give yourself up. Good evening to you, Detective O'Malley. I was wondering if we were going to give this fine gentleman a name. So overjoyed by my presence as always, I see. And you're as cocky as ever. Even you must realize that you have nowhere left to run in this situation. My officers have the break room secured after your little stunt just now. You won't be able to use your veil of darkness to escape like in the past, thief. Leaning against the display case, I give Detective O'Malley a playful smirk and chuckle. And what's so funny this time? You just seem so sure of yourself, Detective. You won't be able to use your veil of darkness. How long did it take you to come up with that little quip? You hardly have a leg to stand on here, magician wannabe. True, true. But who's to say that darkness is the only way to make an escape? With a little tap on the glass, I turn my attention to my target before me. Isn't that right? Sunrise glow. My eyes! Ah! Quick, cover your eyes. Once the harsh light fades, Detective O'Malley and their men slowly open their eyes. Those that didn't make it in time, start rubbing them to subdue the pain. Ooh, I like the little detail that they actually swapped out the little treasure in the case, because you can already see it's a different one. Phew. Is everyone alright? I think so. Oh, my eyes. Sir, the jewel. I have taken the sunrise glow, forget-me-not. That damned forget-me-not. Empty one, Desiree. Far away from the sounds of sirens and the cheering crowd, I finally make it back to the quiet little attic I call home. Good work tonight. Oh. With a satisfied grin, I flop onto my bed, holding the jewel I want above me in the moonlight. Carefully don't smack yourself in the face with that thing, kid. You're saying that as if I'm the one with butterfingers. As if despite me, the jewel falls out of my hand and hits me in the face, prompting a chuckle at my partner. Dude, that guy is ripped. Ow. You were saying? Oh, shush. I suppose some introductions are in order. I'm Desiree LaChance, whom you've known as a fantastic phantom thief, forget-me-not, up until this point. I've been doing these heists of mine for over 3 years, wowing the crowds and running circles around the cops who chase after me. Could we maybe not do a light show next time? I thought I was gonna go blind earlier. That's why I said not to look at the jewel, you dumb. The snarky man before me is Sungwon Kim, though he goes by his thief name Crow most of the time. Yep, you heard me. He's also a thief, just not as eccentric as I am. He focuses on finding and revealing shady secrets about high-ranking officials or businessmen in the area. Oh, so he's like more of an information bro. He's like the intel. To me, however, he's my mentor, a complex, and kinda adoptive uncle. It's a long story, so just take my word for it. But anyways, I have something to tell you. What is it? Well, you've been working so hard as of late, juggling these heists and civilian life and such. So I talked to a friend who owed me a favor to pull some strings. And got these. Ooh. Swan Lake. He reaches into his pants pocket and pulls out a pair of tickets. Hand me one, I can see the Pavlova Ballet Swan Lake written in an ornate, cursive font. Wait, aren't these for the ballet on Friday? You got that right. Figured you deserved a break, so how's about it, kid? That's awesome. Thanks so much. Anytime. Be sure to let Ramona know you're going to take Friday night off. Of course. Now off to bed you go. You can send back the jewel on your way to work in the morning. Okay. Good night, Crow. Night, Desiree. The excitement of the heist must have drained all my energy, for as soon as I laid in bed, I instantly fell fast asleep. Next morning comes quickly and begins like any other... Wait, I just noticed him like slumped over in bed over there. Just face down. He is just conked out. After going through my usual routine of making my bed, getting dressed, and packing my bag for work, I do a little stretch. Good morning, world. Let's get today started. Continuing the story, I'll be able to explore the environment by clicking around. The cursor icon will change or hovering over something you can interact with. And if you've seen everything you can for certain clickable areas, that check mark will appear over the mouse. You can also, in some places, click the left, right, and right side of the screen to either pan the background or move to a lunar looking. Blah, blah. I can talk. Oh, okay. Oh. Alright, well, I gotta. Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna attempt to wake him up. Last time I tried to wake him up before noon, he gave me an hour-long lecture about it. At this point, I've just accepted that he's fused to his bed until the afternoon. Ah, late sleeper, eh? Oh, but no check mark. Nope, not doing it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I swear that man's part bed. Anything, I guess, to boxes? Even though we live up here, this is still an attic. We try to leave as much room for any boxes and such for the bar as we can if there's no space in storage room, and even help organize it. Although Andre is really good at organizing things, so there aren't many boxes left over to begin with. TV? Crow's still asleep, so I can't turn on the TV to check the news just yet. Though right now they're probably just talking about the weather report for the week. I can wait until I'm at work to tune in. Any secrets on the painting? Oh, the cork board. What did Andre put on the board today? Today's schedule. Grocery shopping on Thursday. Oh, and a note. Please don't enter the attic through the window. You're lucky most of my patrons leave drunk. Sorry, Andre. The only place I could hide my outfit. I wanted to be flashy, so I customized it myself with the fabric flowers. And some really devoted fans have tried making replicas of it, so I can take it with me when I'm doing laundry, no problem. But I'm not sure how to feel about that if I'm going to be honest. Oh, oh yeah, picture. Oh, and a cactus. That's Charles Potley, our cactus. We called him Charlie for short. Crow originally didn't want any plants up here in the attic as he was worried about bugs and such. But I turned him around after showing him how cute Charlie was. Though I did have to ban him from naming him after he first tried to name it Pestilence. Well, I guess plants do attract bugs, but I don't know, do cacti? I don't think cacti really attract many bugs. Cacti are pretty sanitary from what I understand. In the midst of my before work prep, I shift my gaze to the writing desk next to my bedside. Realized I'd forgotten something. Picking up the phone that's saying on it, I stare at it solemnly and whisper to myself. Hey mama, hey papa, I'm into work now. Don't worry, I won't overdo it this time. I hope you two are doing alright. Miss you. Gently putting the phone back in its place and giving it a little pat, I focus on getting ready for work once more. Okay, looks like that might be the extent what we got up here. I'm hoping they're okay. I mean, I know my track record with visual novels is usually something bad has happened when parents aren't around from the get-go, but I could be overthinking it. We'll see. I think I'm good to head down now. I wonder if Andre's done prepping for the day. Oh, I like his little butler fit. After going downstairs, well, I guess not butler, it's like a bartender, but It's actually a pretty nice looking bar though, and it looks like it doubles as a coffee shop. After going downstairs, I'm greeted with the sight of the empty bar. Tables, glasses, and the like clean and prepared for the day's patrons. The owner and bartender waves at me from behind the counter, saying down a glass he was wiping. Good morning, Desiree. Morning, Andre. This is Andre Daniels, the owner of the bar and restaurant we live in on top of, the Gallant Rogue. That is a very classy name for a bar. I appreciate that a lot, actually. Also, that is an oddly fitting place for Desiree to live, actually, if she's a thief. He and Crow have known each other for years, and even before I joined the team, Crow was lodging in his attic, so he's used to this. So is Andre also a little bit of a mischief maker? Let me know you want something to eat before you head out, alright? Will do. Oh. Okay, what have we got? Ooh, complete screen ban. Alright. Okay, so that's how we leave. Very cozy place you got here, Andre. Let me go back up. The kitchen. Alright, yeah, let's kind of go around. I look at the TV on the wall, where they're talking about the local traffic. Movement in the lower stretches of the city has slowed due to a light altercation, but should clear within the next hour. They usually talk about my latest heist later in the morning. Surprised all the people who came out to watch can get enough sleep in. Doing a before me is the impressive collection of alcohol Andre keeps in the bar. Wines, vodkas, brandies. If he doesn't have it on the wall, he'll try to get his hands on it for the sake of it. Yeah, Crow won't let me have even a single sip of anything alcoholic. It's not fair. How am I supposed to know if I like it if he won't even let me try it? Well, how old are you? That's a big question. Oh, never mind. I'm 24 for God's sake. I can even handle even a little bit. I mean, yeah, you can let a girl drink. She's 24, that's fine. Back there's the bar's kitchen. It's pretty spacious, and Andre takes good care of it, so it's always looks really clean and neat. Though he's also very territorial about it, even with me and Crow when we help him out. Especially Crow. There's probably a story behind that. Ready for some breakfast, kiddo? You bet. What would you like me to make? Oh, this could be important. This could be very important. Breakfast is the most important part of the day. We gotta make sure. I do like my French toast. Now it's about some French toast. Sure thing. Tea as usual, I assume? Of course. And he's fine. I'll be right back then. Andre grabs an apron and tightens it around his waist with a confident look as he walks in the kitchen behind him. Meanwhile, I stare at the TV hanging from the ceiling nearby as I seat myself on one of the stools by the counter. Twin Bells can expect about 5 millimeters of rain tomorrow night, but it'll quickly clear in the early morning as folks start their day. Rainy days always make heist hard to plan for, especially with how often a friendly detective chases me onto the rooftops. Ooh, yeah, running around on slippery roofs is probably very dangerous. As weather report wraps up, I can smell the wonderful aroma of my breakfast wafting from the kitchen, with Andre carrying it on cue. Here you go. Andre sets down in front of me a plate with 4 neatly stacked triangles of French toast. That is some delightful looking French toast, actually. Like he even include fruit with it. That's a good mix of fruit, like bananas, strawberry. Oh, I see some raspberries. That's a very nice little breakfast, actually. I'd be on board with that. Topped with powdered sugar and syrup, the golden brown slices are arranged with a variety of fruit to balance out the sweetness. Bon appetit. You tried. My apologies, miss. My father's side is part French. I'm just saying. Thank you regardless. As I dive right into my breakfast, Andre goes back to clean the tableware and cutlery, wiping off every little blemish he can see. So, do you have another heist planned? Not yet. Nothing's caught my eye so far. Though, knowing Sir Wilkinson, he's probably got his eyes on another rare jewel to add to his collection. It almost seems like the old guy's doing this because he knows you'll try to steal it. Hey, you gotta entertain yourself in retirement somehow. Fair enough. After clearing my plate, I take one last sip of tea, getting up from my seat. Thanks again, Andre. No problem, Desiree. Good luck at work today. Thanks. You too. Oh, we can talk to him a little bit more. Not head out yet, kid? I gave myself some extra time, so I can hang out a bit longer if I want. Good. It's always better to be early than to be right on time. That is true. It must feel nice to have another morning person around, huh? You have no idea. I guess Crow doesn't make for much of a conversationalist early in the morning. Oh no, I skipped the menu. In the evenings, Gallant Rogue is the local bar most night owls flock to. But on the day, it's a casual restaurant that serves really good food and drinks at a decent price. And Andre really prides himself on making all the food as amazing as possible, within reason, of course. Crow and I help him in the kitchen on busier days to make sure he doesn't overwork himself. Crow may not look it, but he's actually a pretty good cook. The meals I've tried have all been great. Though he and Andre have quite different heat tolerances. Oh, I'm assuming you're not a fan of the spicier stuff, eh? Also, that's a long happy hour, dear lord. I'm not a bar goer, but usually happy hour is maybe 3 hours at most. Ooh. Scattered around the walls of the bar are photos of the highlights of Twin Bells. The Twin Bell Towers, the museum, the theater hall, all things that bring people to visit the city of ours. There's also various memorabilia related to the famous thief that took the city by storm, the Scarlet Rose. Oh, a precursor. Scarlet Rose is a phantom thief that came years before me, and is considered a part of our history now. He was a master of disguise and quite the charmer from what I've heard. He retired before I was born. Andre told me that they named the bar in homage to them, but Crow likes to imagine that the moniker fits him too. I wonder if we'll meet the Scarlet Rose as we go along then. Okay, a whole lot left. Andre's prized cues. He uses them whenever he plays a game with someone in the night. He told me they're hand-me-downs from his dad's side of the family, but he's taken such good care of them, they look brand new. Oh, does that imply Andre will sometimes kind of hang out and chill with the people who come to the bar? Because that's actually kind of cool. Just actually hanging out with your customers. You probably enjoy the bar and the bar itself, of course. Andre has a special rule: if a customer beats me in a game of 8-ball, they get free drinks for the night. That's fun, actually. Wait, no, that's actually a really fun idea, actually. But so far, no one's been able to beat him. No, that's actually great too, because that's multifaceted, right? Ugh. Because on the one hand, it gives people a reason to use the pool table, because it's oh man, I could get free drinks. It's a way to engage with your customers, right? It's beyond just hey, let me serve you drinks and give you customer service. It's hey, you want to try your hand at a game of pool against me? It's gives you kind of that extra connection piece. And on top of that, it probably gets people's attention too. You hang out at the bar and you're hey, this guy's gonna go for free drinks. It provides entertainment for the other people who might be in the bar. They can watch as someone kind of tries their hand to beat the bartender in a game of, well, I don't know much about pool. I guess it is a little skill based maybe. But that's very fun on multiple levels. I like that. That's a really cool idea actually. The games have even gone so popular that people come to the bar at night just to see them. See exactly what I was saying. It's a great way to provide additional entertainment with people. After checking my belongings, I turn around to wave to Andre. Bye, Andre. Have a good day today. You too, kid. See you later. As I step out of the bar, I'm greeted by the sights and sounds of Sidewind Avenue in his morning routine. Shops open their doors, people commuting to work, and the slow start of what's normally a bustling street. Ooh. Idle passerby. Oh, I want to look at the guy sweeping. Yeah, I can look at the guy sweeping. Hold on. Why are you waving the black flag? That's not a pirate ship. Oh, there's background noise too. That kind of threw me off because I was what's that scuffling? Let's see if we can go back in. That's the bar, isn't it, quaint? This is a pretty decent location that's not too central, but also not far from the major points of the city. Also helps that it stands out from all the buildings nearby since they look so similar. That is kind of a cozy? I don't know why I said that. I think I tried to combine quaint and cozy. It's kind of a cozy little building. As I walk by the TV store, I overhear a couple of ladies chatting to each other while watching the news. Did you go to Forget-Me-Not's heist last night? I did. It was fantastic as usual. Hey, who do you think is cooler, Detective Aiden or the Phantom Thief? Ah, that's such a hard question. If I had to choose, though, I'd Forget-Me-Not. He's so dreamy. Take that, detective. Oh, maybe one day they'll get it right. As I walk by the local bakery, I'm greeted by a clerk sweeping near the door, waving at me with a big grin on their face. Good morning, Desiree. Morning. Get everything ready for the day? Yep, we're just about done the early morning prep. Oh, speaking of, Boss told me to give you something when you came by. One sec. They duck in the store for a quick bit before coming back out with a Cho pastry. I hope I pronounced that right. Yes, thank you. Actually, what is that? Maybe I'll recognize it once I see it, but I've never heard of anything referred to by that particular name. Let's see here. Cho pastry? Oh, okay, I do know what it is. I just didn't know they were called that. Okay. Essentially like a little cream puff. That's cute. You're welcome. Boss said you love these things, so he made an extra batch in case you wanted one today. You can tell him that he can expect me to drop by for that batch after my shift, and that's a promise. With a chuckle, the clerk gives me a nod, and then returns to the sweeping they were doing. Aw. Man, I like that too. Like, you got friendly neighbors. That way goes to the south end of Sidewind. Sidewind? I'm gonna say this is what always messes me up, is like whenever I see like wind in a larger word, it can either be wind or wind. I want to say it's wind, but I could be wrong. If you take about a 15-minute walk, you'll reach the business center of the city. But I don't need to go up there. Work is up to the north end. Oh, fair enough. We're not going that way. This way goes to the north end of the street. That's where work is. I should get going, so I have more than enough time to prep once I get there. I almost thought that said bananas flowers. God damn it. After a bit of walking, I make it to the north end of Sidewind Avenue. And that time the city started to wake up a bit more, as people are beginning their regular work days around me. I'll soon join them as I finally see my destination right in front of me. Oh, the flower shop, I'm assuming. Oh yeah, go inside. Further north. Back south. That goes back to the bar in the south end. Oh, that's probably obvious. I'm already near work though, and I have everything I need, so I don't need to go back. Oh, but I want to talk to those ladies. I guess not. Oh, I can't talk to you either? Okay. Going further north from here goes right into the heart of the city. As you expect, there's a lot of tourist landmarks, such as our noteworthy Twin Bell Towers. They can get pretty crowded in the warmer months when people are vacationing, so us locals hang out there in the off-season instead. Okay, what about the cat? Oh. Mailbox? I thought that looked like a fire hydrant. Okay. I walk up to the mailbox nearby, and after quickly making sure no one's watching, put on my gloves and drop a bubble mailer inside. Almost forgot to give back my prize from last night. So long, little friend. Thanks for the fun last night. I close the lid of the mailbox after confirming the deed and hide my gloves back in my bag along with the rest of my belongings. Oh, so are you like a... Do you just... I always make sure I send it using different mailboxes to keep my fingerprints off of it. Standard stuff. Even the great Detective O'Malley should be able to find any clues of all this. Oh, so does she, like, steal the goods and then return them? Like, it's just more for, like, the show and the fun of it than, like, actually making a profit? Because that make a lot of sense on why you live in an attic. This little kitty is Marigold, the pseudo-mascot of the flower shop. Miss Ramona found her hanging out behind the store a while back and has been taking care of her ever since. She named her Marigold because she's the same color as them. Upon seeing me get close to the store, little Marigold struts forward toward me and lets out a big meow for attention. Good morning to you too, sweetheart. And how are you doing today? I lean down to give my furry friend a gentle scratch behind the ears, which she practically pushes her head into my hand for. Gosh, you're so cute. I hope you have a good day today. We love cats in this house. It's a shame I can't have cats in this apartment. I hate that my apartment so doesn't have pets. I would love a cat. Oh well. Bringing me in this part of the street is Ramona's Flowers, a flower shop I work at. Its rustic aesthetic is a favorite site of many, and it's the main shop a lot of locals go to for their floral and decorating needs. This Ramona's shop also offers flower telegrams, so we get a lot of business during Valentine's and other holidays. Understandable. People love their flowers. My grandmother still sends me flowers, like, for my birthday sometimes. I say sometimes because sometimes she gets a little, She doesn't know how to actually get into my apartment. There have been a couple times where she's sent them and I haven't gotten them, sadly, but that's how it goes. And here we are. I double check my belongings just in case before stepping up to the main entrance. Time to head inside. Hope Mr. Mona hasn't been too busy before I got here. Ugh. Man, all this talking is like kind of killing my throat more than expected. I walk into the flower shop and greeted by the pleasant, subtle smell of the flowers displayed around the store. Hyacinths, pansies, roses, tulips. This shop holds as many as it can handle and takes meticulous care in each and every one of them. Also greeting me as I walk in is the owner of this shop and my boss. Good morning, Dee. It is my boss, Miss Ramona Bernardi. She's a close friend of my mom's and a previous client of Crow's. As in, she knows about the thief thing? From what I understand, she was having issues with a corrupt landlord in the area that was taking a toll on hers and other shops. So she hired Crow to step in, and now she and the other vendors in this area don't have to worry anymore. He helped me meet her so I could apply to work here. I've been working here for a few years now. Morning, Miss Ramona. Bleh. Miss Ramona. Hope I didn't keep you waiting. Oh, whoops. The history. Dee, please, you know you never do. I'm still taking care of a few things at the front, so take your time getting ready. Sure thing. Sounds like the perfect opportunity to nose around. Okay, no scroll in here, though. The morning light shines brightly through the window, and through it I can see the building next door. The shop's not the best location, but Miss Ramona's hoping to move it somewhere more open. She has her eye on a larger building a little bit north of here, and it's got a nice big window the plants can bask next to. With the business we've been getting, it shouldn't be long before she can snag it for herself. Yeah, but this shop probably has some memories attached to it, you know? Let's see. Not as much to inspect around here. Sitting elegantly right in the middle of the store is Miss Ramona's flower display. A handsome variety of plant life is arranged in an appealing manner. Miss Ramona loves arranging the store, and especially this part. Part of the reason she opened a flower shop in the first place was because of all the flowers she could arrange. She says that the best way to keep people interested in the store is to switch out the plants with each season. Last summer she got her hands on some really pretty bamboo and went all out with displaying it. Shame I couldn't get my hands on it before it flew off the shelves. It was so pretty. I do like me some bamboo. I'm off to Miss Ramona, who's scrolling through her phone behind the counter. What are you doing? Looking at what flowers I need to get for the shop. Mother's Day is coming up, so we're going to need a fair amount of carnations. Ah, right, those sell out so fast around this time of year. They sure do, don't they? Oh, the forget-me-nots a certain... oh, okay, yeah, she has to know, like, the way, the emphasis she put there. Although, the forget-me-nots a certain Thieves fans buy have continued to be our biggest hits. Oh yeah, she absolutely knows. There is no way she doesn't know. Am I ready to start work? Yeah. I guess it's time to get started. A bit later, oh, the back room. And now on to our next story. Late last night, the infamous thief, Forget-Me-Not, fiendishly stole yet another priceless exhibit from the Twin Bells Museum. As the newscaster recounts my escapade from the other night, a huge smirk appears on my face while I work on my next bouquet order. The infamous thief fiendishly stole yet another priceless exhibit. They always give me such high praise. Be careful not to let your ego grow too much, otherwise your pretty little head will turn into a blimp. Okay, yeah, there's a confirmation. I turn to see Miss Ramona carrying 2 cups of tea from the back office. She sets one down next to me and takes a sip from her own as she sits across the table. Very funny. How in the world did you turn into such an attention seeker? Is it wrong to be proud of your accomplishments? Oh, I just noticed she changed her outfit for her work, too. That's so cute. Miss Ramona gives a little chuckle before taking a sip from her tea. Yep, you definitely take after your father more. What's that supposed to mean? Take it as you will. I set aside my current project to take a sip of tea, turn my attention back to the news report about my heist. It's been over 3 years since that thief first appeared in our city, and they've been putting on these shows of theirs many nights ever since. We're passing off to a reporter on the field who is interviewing the officers and persons involved in this incident. Thank you, Sir. I have Sir Wilkinson, the museum curator and owner, here with me in the museum lobby. Oh, that is just a comfy-looking old man. You know he probably does. He probably has fun with this. If it's not too much trouble, sir, could you answer a few questions about last night? Of course, it's no trouble at all. Thank you, sir. Now, this thief has been going after your family's exhibits for years now. You seem quite chipper about it. Could you explain why? The reason for it is quite simple. It's purely fun. I can tell from their highs that the rascally thief is doing this to entertain, and I must say that myself and many others certainly are entertained. It reminds me of years past with the Scarlet Rose. To live through this again has been one of the biggest joys of my old age. Besides, we Wilkinsons are not ones to get discouraged and give up so easily. Why, my son actually has an exhibit planned very soon that he's simply elated to announce. This is the first we've heard of this. Any hints as to what the new exhibit is about? My apologies, but that's about all I'm allowed to say. Otherwise, poor Max will be quite upset at me for stealing his spotlight. Of course. Thank you for your time, Mr. Wilkinson. It was my pleasure. As the interview wraps up, I stare at the screen deep in thought. A new exhibit, huh? Already getting ideas? Maybe. Besides, it's more fun to mess with Max since he gets so worked up about it. Unlike his dad, who always looks like he's having a ball when he's at a heist. Oh, you're a little. You are a mischief maker. You really want to get under people's skin a little bit, don't you? Just make sure not to overwork yourself, all right? Of course. As I take another sip, I'm reminded of what Crow told me about last night. Oh, I almost forgot. Miss Ramona, I'm gonna need Friday off this week. How come? Crow landed tickets to that ballet that's going to the city this Friday. Say he wanted to give me a chance to relax after all these heists. Oh, is that all? Of course you're gonna have Friday off for that. Man. I kinda... Ugh. Man, this is really killing my throat a lot more than I thought it would with all this reading. I've been a little spoiled by this Julia Lonviens where with all the voice acting. But I also like this because it's kind of nice that she doesn't have to make any excuses because her boss knows full well everything she does, all the work she does both in store and out. So she doesn't have to make any excuse. She's just like, hey, yeah, I've just been between this and the other thing, I've been really busy. And she's like, oh yeah, sure. Just make sure to finish all the bouquet and telegram orders we've gotten for this week. That ballet actually brought in more than what we usually get around this time. Do you think you can manage? Of course I can. I'll make sure these bouquets are perfect. Excellent. But it's impressive Crow managed to snag a couple of tickets, even with his connections. Is it really that popular? Apparently so. Every city that Bailey's toured through has had its tickets sell out almost instantly. One of their selling points is that the dancers playing the lead roles are a couple themselves, so their scenes are extra romantic. Huh, didn't know that. It must be quite the show to garner that much attention. I'm even more excited to go see it now. Amid my excited bubbliness, Ramona playfully pokes me in the face as she gets up from her seat. You can think about the ballet after you're done arranging these bouquets. Yes, boss. Ramona takes her empty cup and walks to the back office, leaving me alone in the back room. I put my own cup aside as I get back to work with the TV still playing. While the police have expressed their disdain for the thief, many citizens have told our reporters that they continue to anticipate the thief's next heist. Without the public love's forget-me-not, one could say that we're living through another era like the Scarlet Roses. Hearing those words, I stare at one of the roses in the room fondly. Like the Scarlet Rose, huh? I'm still nowhere near their level. but it feels nice to hear people say I'm like them. Papa loves the Scarlet Rose. I wonder what he would say. Brainworms. Back at the bar. After an admittedly long day, I returned to the dimly lit bar. My bag on one shoulder and a box of chow pastries from next door under my other arm. Oh, she did go back for more. That's a cute little attention to detail. I appreciate that. Greeting me is Andre, walking back behind the counter after cleaning the main area a bit. Sup, man? Welcome back, Desiree. Thanks. Is Crow around? I brought some chow pastries from next door and wanted to share. He left a couple hours ago. Said it was for a new job. Another one already, huh? Did he say where or who? Nope. Say he's keeping it on the down low this time until he's done. That's fair. Would you like first dibs on one of these then? Don't mind if I do, thank you. I open the box in my arms and he gently pulls a pastry out, then grabs himself a small plate to not make a mess. Man, you are such a professional, bartender, man. I don't even know if it's fair to call you just a bartender. It seems like you run a whole on not quite a tavern, but it toes pretty close to being like a tavern. It seems like. I make myself a seat on one of the stools, putting the box next to me, and the two of us start chatting away. Got some downtime right now, huh? Yep, the usual is one starts showing up for a little bit. How was work, by the way? Ooh, I'm gonna save again. Save every choice because you never know. Pretty good. Miss Ramona and I had some extra time to chat about stuff despite all the work we had. I should visit Ramona sometime. Been needing to get some new plants to redecorate the bar with. I'm sure she'd love to help you pick something out. Got anything specific in mind? Not really. I'm just growing a little tired of that old cypress near the front door is all. I think a Monstera or Yucca would fit well there. Ms. Ramona has some in the store this month. Okay, I know what a Yucca plant is. What is a Monstera? I have a feeling this is going to be another thing where I look it up and I see it and I'm like, oh, I recognize that. In fact, I do. It's those plants with the big giant heckin' leaves. Okay. Funny how I know about all these things, but I never really think about what they're called. I'll have to go see what will work better then. Oh, by the way, Crosey's buying dinner on the way back, so we don't need to cook anything. Oh, okay. Any word on what specifically? Nope. Although knowing him, he'll want something hot. He comes back with a bucket of lava. That man sure loves his spice, huh? As Andre is finishing up his pastry, he looks at the clock hanging on the wall. Do you mind helping me in the kitchen for a bit tonight? Some of my more rowdy regulars are going to show up soon. I just want to make sure my part-timers don't get overwhelmed, you know? Okay, so he doesn't run the bar himself. Sure thing. Let me just go take my jacket off quickly. Take your time and won't get messy until they've had a few drinks. As the last few patrons leave the bar, Andre locks the front door and flips a sign from open to closed. Oh, so May Crow did not come back. Meanwhile, I'm cleaning the last few tables here tonight, pausing to allow a little yawn. I can take care of the rest. You go upstairs if you're feeling tired. Are you sure? No worries, there's not much left. Plus I need to count the cash and whatnot. Alright, I guess I'll go upstairs and wait for Crow to get back. I was right, he didn't come back. Andre takes a bottle and cloth from me as I make my way towards the stairs, stretching a little from the work we just did. How late is it anyway? Is it unusual for Crow to be back this late? I swing open the door of the attic and grab the TV remote nearby, turning on the news as I flop onto the bed. And we've just learned in the Sunrise Glow, the jewel that Forget-Me-Not stole last night has been returned safely to the police department. Officials are still trying to find out any info on the thief and their accomplices for a swift arrest. I roll around the bed with a yawn as I pull out my phone, lazily scrolling through my calendar and social media feeds. Forget-Me-Not's trending again, though the ballet's in a really close second. Friday night I'll get to see what everyone's so excited about. The hype has to be for a reason, right? When I'm staring at my phone, I suddenly hear the sound of someone climbing up the stairs and turn around and see Crow walking into the attic. Ooh, that's a nice fit, brother. I'm back. Not sure how I feel about the goggles, though. Welcome back. He puts a plastic bag he's carrying onto the bed and then takes a page from my book as he flops onto his bed. Long day? Yep. You too? Yep. Oh, darkness. Not anything else to really inspect right now? The bag, the boy, or the TV? The TV. And stare at the TV on the other side of the room, but Grow is interested in roll over on my side. Might have changed the channel? Go ahead, I'm not even watching anymore. Then hear Crow's creaky bed as he gets up to grab the remote. Changing from the news to the game show channel. I roll over to see what's on right now. How'd that guy already have so much banked? Probably let Hubis take control and tried to roll as many double ups as he could. I betcha I was going to bite him in the ass on his next roll, though. As Crow said, the guy takes another chance to make his score even higher, only to land on a big, fat bankrupt space. Crow lets out a chuckle, seeing him clutching his head in disbelief. What was he expecting? Who knows, but at least that was entertaining to watch. I shake my head and roll onto my back. Losing interest in the show as the commercial break starts up. Alright, sweaty swag, what's in the bag? As I lie in bed, still scrolling through my phone, the delicious smells of what appear to be chicken and spice fill the air of the attic. It smells so good. What do you get? I was in the mood for curry, so I got a big portion so all three of us can eat as much as we want. I am suspiciously upon hearing that, which prompts an exasperated sigh. Don't worry, I bought mild. Didn't want you to yell at me again because you're weak. Okay, I feel this, man. Like, one of my most vivid flashbacks in life is I remember one time a friend of mine got what was it? What flavor was it? It was really spicy. It was like mango habanero sauce on their wings. And they're like, "Oh, you like spicy, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Eat this." And I took a bite of it and I had no reaction. I was bit into it and I was like, "Yeah, this is pretty good." And she just stared me dead in the eye and she was like, "There's something wrong with you." It's just so funny because she was so shocked I had no reaction to it. Crow, you only start to consider something as hot when it's at 4 out of 5 on the scale. Spice is good for you. You sweat more and drink more water. Within reason. Alright, I guess we gotta talk to the boy. What's up, man? I heard from Andre you got a new job. Technically, yeah. My new client actually contacted me a while ago, but it was only tonight that I got all the fine point for what they want me to do. Can't tell you about it, though. This one's super hush-hush. I know, Andre told me about that. Good. I'll tell you all about it once I'm done, though, alright? I know you're always so curious about the jobs I get. Hey, it's not every day you get to see a thief of justice in action. And flattery will get you nowhere, kiddo. Crow rolls around in his bed a little before hopping back onto his feet. I'm gonna go take a shower and tell Andre we can start eating. I'll just be up here until you're ready then. Got it. He takes off his jacket and chucks it onto his bed before walking around the corner to the hall. Meanwhile, I roll onto my back feeling a little drowsy. A little nap before dinner wouldn't hurt. No, Desiree, you're gonna make that mistake and be asleep all night now. With a yawn, my eyes start to grow even heavier as I slowly but surely fall into an inevitable nap. Forget-me-not. Amid my sleeping, I find myself reliving an old memory of mine. A memory that decided the past few years of my life. I can see Crow and myself sitting up in the dark attic, illuminated by the moon and streetlights outside as I unveil my grand idea. Yeah, what do you think? I think it's a mouthful is what it is. I'm curious what sparked the long name. Oh, come on, be serious. I spent a lot of time thinking up this name. Right, because it's your thief name. A worried expression paints Crow's face as he folds his arms and leans back in his chair. What's up? It's just, you know. I promised your dad I'd look after you until he and your mom are back in form, and I'm still coming to terms with whether I should let you do this or not. Okay, so it sounds like they're still around then, just not physically present. What would they say if they knew of this idea of yours? I know, but... I say this on my notepad, crailing my knees as I look back at Crow. There's something about that incident the other night that just... I don't know. Maybe I want to feel that thrill again. I've been cooped up in this attic for a while now, and that really helped me stretch my legs a bit more. Yeah, I get ya. But you know becoming a phantom thief means you'll have a lot of close calls like that one. One wrong move and you'll be put behind bars, and I really don't want to see that happen. Do you think you can deal with that kind of stress? I pause, taking time to think as hard as I can before I look at Crow with determination. Yes, I can. It'll be a bit scary, but I know my limits and want to give this a try. Besides, the Scarlet Rose managed to retire from being a thief. I can do that too later when the thrill dies down. Crow blinks at me for a moment before letting out a small chuckle. That's a weird kind of retirement to aim for, but I can't say you're wrong. Crow pauses to think it over, then sits upright in his chair. How's about this? I at least want you to agree that the minute it gets out of hand, you quit. Got it? Got it. I'm holding you to that, kid. Crow crosses his arm and leans forward, his hands resting his chin, as a scheming look appears on his face. So, Miss Upcoming Thief, you got your first target in mind. You bet I do. Check out this article. As Crow and I start to form a plan for my first heist, I can feel this nostalgic dream fading away from me. I feel something nudging my shoulder, causing me to slowly wake up from my impromptu nap. I let out a small yawn to I see Crow staying next to me. Had a good nap, kid? Sorry, guess I was more tired than I thought. He let out a small chuckle before ruffling my hair. Don't worry about it, you've had a busy week so far. Now come on, dinner's ready. I get from bed and do a little stretch before following Crow downstairs. I had a feeling he was going to get angry, but after seeing that clean sweep, he had his jaw on the floor. I love it when that happens. In the moody, empty bar, I listen to Crow and Andre exchange stories for the night. Visitors during the day, something they remembered. They always go on like this together in the evenings. While I quietly enjoy my dinner, Andre sets his plate down momentarily. I heard some interesting gossip tonight that might interest you two as well. I'll even manage to get my spoon in my mouth before my interest is piqued. What kind of gossip this time? You know how Maximilian has an exhibit of some sort planned? That I do. He wouldn't even let his dad say anything about it. Well, I had a theater employee pop in for a meal today, and they spilled a tidbit that has something to do with the ballet. I can tell Crow's interest is piqued, as right on cue he leans forward and folds his hands under his chin. Really? I was wondering why the advertising for that was everywhere, but now it makes sense. You think he would invite the ballet Torsay to take part in an exhibit? That I do. Not to knock Twin Bells, but we're not as well known as the bigger cities. It just makes sense that being invited to take part in a rich young museum co-owner's exhibit would entice him to visit. As Crow takes another swig of his alcohol, I turn to Andre. The employee happened to say anything about the exhibit itself? Unfortunately not. They say it's strictly confidential until he announces it himself. Makes sense. Knowing him, though, he's going to try and go for the dramatic approach. And the ballet is the perfect chance to announce an exhibit in such a way. And it's probably going to be opening night, too. There's going to be a lot of press on Friday. Now I'm even happier you got those tickets. Imagine what Maxie would think if he learned he'd announced his exhibit to Forget-Me-Not. Did I get you those tickets so you could relax, miss, before dinner nap? I sheepishly shove another spoon of curry in my mouth in response. Oh, I love curry. I was going to make that for dinner tomorrow, assuming I didn't have a whole lot of leftovers. Meanwhile, Andre, having already finished eating, gets up and takes his plate. Anyone want seconds, or are we leaving the rest for leftovers? I'll take some more. Continuing from where they left off, Andre and Crow talk each other's ears off to pass time for the rest of the night. Okay, we do have an ad break rolling up. We do run an ad break, a 3-minute ad break every hour just to prevent pre-rolls on the channel. That way anyone who may or may not be coming in doesn't have to deal with pre-roll ads. So I am going to step away for about 3 or so minutes while that runs. But we will be right back after that's over. So see you in a bit. know I can't retaliate right this moment. You know full well I can't. How dare you? But also thank you. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs to, let's see what's on the list here. Thermopylae 007 is with me. 3 sub 5, very sweet. And you. Out. You need to stop. You need to stop. Okay, the ad break is over, but you need to stop. I'm gonna get you, fucker. I'm gonna get you. Jesus, what the heck does that mean? Alright, well, let me continue the now extended. Oh, you got Frozen. With also K9 Conductor, Frozen, K91, Costco, and Innovator. How dare you? Again, I do appreciate it, though. Yeah, we're back now, so let me go back to the actual game. Huh. That is a lot of subs, though, so I do appreciate it, but please take care of yourself. I really want I want my friends to take care of themselves. It means so much more to me. I'll find a way, though. Just give me time. Just give me time. Jesus is French. You called me a bitch, didn't you? Oh. No, you were actually a lot more wholesome than calling me a bitch. Never mind. Now I look like the asshole. Oh well. But yeah, I really had to top my water because, again, I think the studio Elanvian spoiled me with all the voice acting because, dear lord, like, my throat is not used to this much, like, reading. Ugh. Ugh. But yeah. Anyway, we just had a lovely dinner. Let's see if there's any potential fallout from that, though. We say our goodnights to Andre as he heads back home, locking up the bar to get ready to pack in for the evening. I'm gonna stay up a little longer, but you're free to head to bed if you want. Again, I really appreciate just how, like, toned Crow is. I know they call him a professional thief, but he definitely, like, has the muscle of one. Like, you can tell the boy works out. As if on Kyo, a yawn escapes me with a giggle soon after. Guess I am kinda tired. I'll go tuck myself in then. Alright then. Good night, kid. Good night. I make my way up to the attic, change into my PJs, and tuck myself into bed, quickly falling asleep. Twin Bells Theater Performing Arts, May 10th, 7:48 p.m. How's it so far? I'm enjoying it so far. I mean, it's the early stages. We're still in the world building, but I feel it's not going to be too long until we get to the meat of the game, you know what I mean? Oh, that's a lot of people. The night of the ballet is finally here, and as I enter the theater lobby, I find myself in awe of the turnout. Wow, look at this crowd. I've never seen a theater hall like this before. What do you expect from a company that's made a name for themselves across all of Western Europe? I'm glad I managed to snag those tickets with my friend's help. Crow, why are you wearing a wig? Huh? Though now we get to see the ballet really is as good as people are making it out to be. Are you like a known criminal? Do you have to like hide your identity in public? Is that what's going on here? While Crow in disguise eyes the other guests in our surroundings, I shoot a judging gaze at his outfit. Your outfit is still ridiculous. Oh, it doesn't look that ridiculous. I mean, yeah, he looks like a little bit of a fuckboy, but I mean, you know. You look like a wannabe aesthetic blogger. Haha, very funny. Listen, I told you before the only way I could come with you was if I wore this. So it's either you watch this ballet alone or you deal with my getup for the next few hours. You never say anything about not making fun of it, though. Touche, you little brat. We still have some time before it starts, so let me know when you're ready to find our seats. Sure thing. We get to look around. Oh my god. He's even doing like the the pose, you know, like where they're just like, let me check my phone in public. I'm gonna lean against something even though there's nothing to lean on. God damn it. Ooh, we're scrolling. Okay, what we got? Mostly just the people in the theater stuff. Scattered all around the lobby are posters, each with the same image printed, advertising tonight's show. Oh, you triggered a hype train from that, Gil. Hype chest, what'd I get? I simultaneously love and hate that emote. But thank you again for the gift subs. That was very kind of you. The Pavlova Ballet Company presents Swan Lake. Oh, why didn't I get that one? I like that emote a lot better. Yeah, you got the. Well, I guess that's fair though. You're the one who actually spent money, so I'm not gonna be too salty or bitter about it. That was interesting though. I didn't know this how hype chests work, where like the channel like owner gets something out of it too. That's kind of cool, I guess. But thank you again. That was extremely kind of you. It's simple enough to match the tone of the production, but still eye-catching enough to make you want to stop and share. Crow walks over to eye it, and then looks over at me. How much do you know about the ballet? All I really know is the basic story, but I've never seen the ballet itself. The lineup is pretty impressive, though. It's probably hard to get that many people to our city. Wait, what? Kroll pulls out the pamphlet about the ballet he brought with him and flips to the cast section, his face growing a bit paler after reading it. Did you think there was going to be less? Maybe. It's a big ballet, though. How did you not realize that? He shows the pamphlet in my hands and pinches the bridge of his nose in frustration. This job is going to be harder than I thought. Good luck? Even right before the show, people are lined up to try and see if there are any tickets left. Hoping for cancellations or maybe seat upgrades, these people patiently wait in line to try their luck for the night. Meanwhile, I know surprises and squint at them. Are ballet tickets normally so pricey? Oh girl, you have no idea. Yep, and there's a special reason they sold out so fast as well, see? Crow points me towards one of the larger signs in your ticket booth that reads, Pavlova Ballet Company celebrates 40 years. Thank you to all who have been part of our performances in the years past. Oh, they're a long-running company. 40 years, huh? That's quite a while. Yep. Apparently they had originally started in Russia, but moved out to accommodate their skilled dancers over here in Western Europe. I'd say it worked out for them pretty well. That's pretty neat. Would you ever want to travel outside the country together? Maybe see some sights? Not a bad plan. Although, are you saying that honestly or just as a way to make you more popular? Haha, very funny. Okay, what about... Let's intrude awkwardly on these families. I look around the lobby again at all the different people that are here for the performance. The well-dressed ones here to make a statement. The more casually dressed folks that are just here to enjoy the show. I even spot some reporters sprinkled around to tell the city about what tonight had to offer. I guess that's the thing to think about. Because I always like have the mindset of I'm going to go to a thing because it's fun. But I wonder if there are like people who ever like go to like these events just because it's kind of like they want to like show off or because they feel like they are obligated to. Like Off-Guy comes to mind as a good example. Because I wonder if they're like... Because I went to Off-Guy last year and I want to go next year because I have a lot of friends I know who go and like I get the opportunity to see them and hang out. But I wonder if there are people who go to Off-Guy just because they're like, oh yeah, big VTuber convention. I want to be there for the other big VTubers. Something that never really crossed my mind, honestly. And of course, later around the theater en masse, let me guess, the police. No, close enough, security. I want to do at least one heist here in the theater, but the amount of security they have here is nuts. Crow told me that he's only had a small handful of jobs related to the theater, and they were all a hassle. One day I'll live my dream of making a graceful entrance on the stage itself. One day. I think that's all, though. Yeah. Alright, well, let's go have a seat, man. What's up, kid? Oh, we can just talk to him. Thank you again for the tickets. I never knew you were a ballet kind of guy. Excuse you, I'm a connoisseur of the performance arts. But I'm also gathering some info. Is it for that new job you got? In a way, yeah. I'm using the show to get a first impression of what I'm supposed to be doing. I imagine you're not going to let me know the details until you're absolutely sure. Correctamundo. Fair enough. Right, now let's go have a seat. What's up, kid? I'm ready to head on in. Alright, let's go find our seats then. Tickets in hand, Crow and I make our way to the doors that lead to the heart of the theater. You know, I've never really been in an opera stage. Maybe someday. Entering the large and imposing main hall, I feel the mood suddenly shift to match the environment. People that are chatting loudly to each other outside are now whispering in hushed tones, respecting their surroundings, but still eager for the performance to start. We manage to find our seats amid the mood lighting and get comfortable. Even with how you got these tickets, these spots aren't that bad. I was worried it would be super uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting to be given crappy seats despite it all. You good from where you are, though? We can swap if my seat's better for you. I'm good, thanks. How much longer do we have till the show starts? The list of show times outside says we've got another 5 minutes. As if on cue, he stretches his arms for a bit, then slumps down in his seat as far as he can without falling out. So I'm just gonna sit back and get as comfy as I can. Please don't tell me you're gonna sleep through the ballet. Oh, come on, who do you take me for? I just know this is gonna be a long boy, so I may as well make sure my ass doesn't fall asleep. A long boy. You heard me. Amid our chatting, I noticed more and more people walking to their seats. Not long after the last few people sit down, the lights begin to dim, until only the stage could be seen in the darkness. The ballet was finally starting. Swan Lake, the timeless story about hope, devotion, despair, and the road in between. Prince Siegfried, bound by responsibility, the story begins because of his unwillingness to let his future be decided for him. And Odette, the isolated queen of the swans, who is unsure of him at first, but soon falls for the impulsive prince. Facing love, betrayal, and heartache, these two unintentionally change each other's lives forever as they strive for what they believe in. Although, even without any knowledge of the source material, I feel anyone would be in awe as they watch the ballet unfold. With the graceful dancing and the music that heightens the mood, I begin to understand the hype this show has had this past week. Especially with how skilled the lead dancers are. But as it goes on, I find my attention taken away from them to someone else. In the middle of the scene on the lake, my eyes are drawn towards one swan in particular. Blonde hair and looks to be the tallest dancer on the stage, lowering herself to not draw attention. I'm not sure why, but I can't help but keep my gaze on her instead of on Siegfried and Odette, who are supposed to be the stars of this scene. She dances just as well as the other girls, is dressed the same. There's something about her that inherently stands out. But no matter how hard I try, my eyes continue to gravitate towards her, sparkling more and more. I can't explain it, and I don't know why. But something is drawing me to her. Of all the dancers to be captivated by, I wasn't expecting one of the regular swans. Not the Cygnets, not even Odette herself, to be the one. In the corner of my vision, I see Crow giving me a confused look, and I turn away reflexively, trying to save face and enjoy the rest of the show. Hey, don't you stare like that, Crow. It's not our fault you don't understand women. As the scene on the lake comes to an end, I feel a sense of longing watching that one dancer leave the stage. But the ballet continues, and the rest of it just as lovely as the beginning, if not more. The final scene comes to a close, and the theater breaks out into a thundering applause, breaking the silence the audience held during the performance. That was really good. I loved how centered the scene of the party was. What about you? Yeah, right. Crow gazes back at the stage, staring at the dancers as they bow for the curtain call. What's up? The prima ballerina. Why did she change back into her Odile costume? Didn't she just do the finale scene as Odette? I look at the ballerina in question, and sure enough, she's changed out of her white Odette costume into the black Odile one. That is strange. I wonder if it has anything to do with... Before I'm able to finish my thought, a loud and boisterous voice I'm familiar with echoes throughout the main hall. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I was about to say, is that Max? Appearing center stage like he's the star of the show, it's not even Max himself. He does look like he'd be, like, someone fun to rile up. I can't explain it, but, like, I'm getting those, like, rich white boy vibes. That it's just, like, he, like, is, like, probably, like, very poised in public, but, like, completely loses his cool when he gets upset. You know what I mean? I am Maximilian Andrew Wilkinson, co-owner of the Wilkinson Museum of Art and History. Some of you might be aware that I have a very special exhibit planned for our esteemed museum. Well, I am here today to finally announce it. The show I and the Pavlova Ballet Company have been working so diligently to share with you all. Ms. Volkov, if you would please. On cue, the prima that Crow and I were staring at just moments before stands next to Max with proud poise. The exhibit will feature the history of the Pavlova Company, as well as famous ballets and pieces inspired by them in general. A ballet focus a history of ballet exhibit? That does sound interesting, actually. But the main attraction, the centerpiece in the entire show, is the pride of the Pavlova Ballet Company, the Black Swan. Oh, the gem. He motions towards a jewel hanging proudly around the prima's neck, as the audience murmurs and oohs in awe. This exhibit will be the first time in the company's history that the Black Swan will ever be available for the public to see up close. It is an honor for our humble museum to have the pleasure of carrying this beautiful ruby in the history that it carries. The exhibit will formally open next week, but we'll have a special inaugural show on the evening of the 14th. I wish for you all to visit it once it is open to the public. As if on cue, a small flock of reporters appear from the crowd, with security quickly catching up to them so they stay far enough from the stage. Mr. Wilkinson, will the thief forget me not? That jewel perfectly fits their M.O. Motioning security to pause for a moment, Max clears his throat and responds. Of course I'm aware of that damn thief. They've plagued our museum for over 3 years. And you know what I say to that coward? Try and steal it if you dare. This time I'll be the one to put you behind bars for good. Just you watch. So not as big a fan as your old dad, I see. The reporters are thrown into a frantic frenzy with that line, and security struggles to push them out into the lobbies so as to not disturb the audience. Ugh. After things have finally calmed down, Crow and I make our way back to the lobby. Ready to go home after the night we had. Man, the press doesn't know when to give up, huh? I almost feel bad for security, having to wrangle them like sheep. Especially when someone tried to break out of it to interview the ballerinas. Well, despite all that hassle, it was a pretty good show, huh? It was. Thank you again for inviting me out here. No problem, kid. Let's head back home now. Oh, can I actually make a quick stop before we leave? I turn my attention to the western hallway where the bathroom sign points. Sure, take your time. I'll go grab myself something to drink then. I'm feeling a little parched. Alright, we'll meet up near the concession stand. On cue, the two of us go separate ways as I make my way towards the western hallway. Oh, practice room 8. Oh, this is a big theater. I walk up and down the western hall, feverishly looking for wherever these bathrooms are supposed to be. Actually, come to think of it, I don't think I've ever been like a proper like theater, you know, like an auditorium kind of theater. I'm really familiar with what kind of layout they have. I can't believe the main bathrooms had such a huge lineup. Where the heck are these other bathrooms that person talked about? I'm practically in the changing rooms at this rate. Amid my annoyed marching, I happen to hear a familiar voice arguing in a room next to me. Do not worry, my plan is foolproof. I still refuse. What's going on in here? I sneak up to where the voices are coming from, peeking into the room through a crack in the door. And there I see Max with two older gentlemen. One I recognize as the man who played the role of Rothbart on stage just moments ago. And surprisingly, the chief of police himself, Inspector Harrison. Try to reconsider. Absolutely not. I refuse to let my niece and the other dancers be put in peril due to this young man's desire for justice. Mr. DeRoth, I can assure you the dancers, her niece included, will have no harm done to them because I'm not letting you go through with this ridiculous idea. Abram, please be reasonable. Amid their arguing, Chief Inspector Harrison, the imposing mustachioed man who had been standing by idly this whole time, speaks up. I think Mr. Wilkinson's idea is genius. With the help of the dancers, there's no way that thief will even lay a finger on them or the jewel. Why are you worried about him laying a finger on the dancers? Or her laying a finger on the dancers? I guess it's not wrong because they all think Desiree is a male thief, but still. But they've never gone after people, have they? I swear my badge on it. I lean against the wall, deep in thought at what I just heard. Seems like Maxie Boy's got some sort of plan to counter me. I'll probably go after that jewel. Sounds like fun. I can't wait to. As I began walking away from the door, not watching where I'm going, I accidentally bumped into someone in the hall. Oh, sorry, I didn't see. The person I bump into turns around, and I feel my heart skip a beat before realizing who it was. Oh, it's the dancer, isn't it? Hey, girl. I don't know whether it was super lucky or super unlucky, but out of everyone, it ended up being that one dancer I couldn't keep my eyes off just a moment ago. I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I feel my face turn red as I try desperately to keep my composure. No, it was my fault. I wasn't watching where I was going and, God, I'm so stupid to learn to speak. She doesn't say a word and just stares at me for a moment before tilting her head in confusion. Sorry to ask, but do you work here? I thought only staff members could come this far back. I look around where we're standing and sure enough spot a sign nearby that reads staff and performers only further down. Ah, dang it. I scratched the back of my neck sheepishly as I turned to look back at her. I know this is going to sound really unbelievable, but I got lost looking for the bathroom. The main one had a huge line, and one of the staff members told me there was another one down here, so... She lets out a small giggle in response. Isn't that the other bathroom right behind you? I turn around to where she's pointing, and right there I see a gender-neutral bathroom sign tucked in the corner. I'm so upset right now. You literally walked past it, you little fool. I walked up and down this hall like 3 times. This building is quite confusing, isn't it? I got lost a couple of times myself. Her cute giggling makes me feel a little sheepish as I play with my ponytail before returning back to her. Thanks for the help. And sorry for bumping into you and all. No worries. Our chat is interrupted by the yelling in the room I just eavesdropped moments ago, getting louder and louder. Absolutely not. That sounds like... I think I need to go see what's going on in there. Take care. You too. And just like that, she walks off and knocks on the door, being led by one of the men inside. I begin to make my way towards the bathrooms before stopping. My palm slapped my face faster than I imagined. I didn't ask her name. I'm so dumb. Ugh! Dejected, I continue making my way to the bathroom, which turned into a mini walk of shame. A little while later, I make it back to the lobby, spotting Crow giving me a look from where he's seated. Where the hell were you? I got lost looking for the bathroom. You getting lost? Where are you and what have you done with the real Desiree? Listen, I'm not in the theater as much as the museum, alright? Deep sigh escapes Crow, adjusting his shades as he gets up from his seat. Well, come on. Let's go home then. Okay. Oh, wait, there's something I need to tell you, too. Let's walk and talk then. Okay, so while I was looking for the bathroom, the two of us finally exit the theater and make our way back to the little attic we call home. Ready and willing to start brainstorming our ideas for Forget-Me-Not's next heist. On the night of the exhibit's launch, I shall steal the Black Swan. Wilkinson Museum of Art and History, May 14th, 10:25 p.m. Oh, we're just going straight for it. No planning, we're just diving right in. The night of Max's exhibit has finally arrived. As usual, due to the calling card I sent to the Wilkinsons, a large crowd grows at the foot of the museum, anxious for tonight. Soon enough, the usual formation is here. Fans in the crowd holding banners, flags, and whatnot. TV crews ready to try and deliver tonight's show to everyone watching from home. Everything down there is set for the night's festivities. Meanwhile, Croy and I go through our usual pre-heist song and dance. Swapping in security, creating a handful of escape routes, yada yada yada. Looking out towards the energetic and excited crowd of people down below, I pull out my walkie and call up Crow as singed comfortably in the security room. I forgot about the sticky keys noise. Everything's good up here. How are things on your end? Same down here, kid. Just setting up the blind spot cameras before switching over to our main attraction. Excellent. I'm a little concerned, though. We still haven't seen what Max is playing for tonight yet. No worries, kid. I'll holler into the walkie the minute I see anything He suddenly pauses with frantic tapping on the security room's control panel following. What the fuck? Kid, look down below. Confused, I look below into the main hall as Crow told me to. My eyes grow wide upon seeing what was going on down there. What? Looking down the room below me, I'm greeted by the most unusual sight I've ever seen. Oh, he's like see it with like replicas. Inside the hall, scattered about in several groups, were the dancers in the ballet all dressed elegantly. But more bizarre than the sudden traffic of people in what normally should be an empty hall this time of night. Was Akira's accessory practically every dancer seemed to have hanging around their necks. Oh, so they see it with a bunch of fakes. Black swans. Why do they all have black swans? I can hear Crow clicking his tongue angrily on the other end. Max was prepared a bunch of fakes to throw us off, the bastard. Oh, and I'm willing to bet, I think I have a good feeling who has the real one, considering she went into the room. So this is what he was talking about when I eavesdropped on him. Not bad at all. This is not the time to be impressed. Crow's angry voice shoots out from my walkie, ringing left in my ears as a result. Sorry. What are we gonna do about this, though? I'm not sure. We should just survey the situation until we get a good grasp on what's going on. Ending our conversation, I bring my attention back to the room down below. Scanning the premises top to bottom until I spot Max himself, along with his father, Sir Wilkinson, Chief Inspector Harrison. I did not give clearance for this. And a very angry Detective O'Malley. Any decisions about what course to take against Forget-Me-Not are to go through me at all times. Being the lead investigator on this case isn't just a title. I have an unhealthy obsession, you know. Detective Aidan O'Malley. My favorite member of the force. Just as I said, they're the lead detective on my case and have been since the day I started my thievery over 3 years ago. If there's anyone who knows how I work the best, it's them. They're my perfect rival. Oh, well, it's nice to see you respect them. Detective. See, this is exactly why we keep this plan from you. It never would have come to fruition had you been involved. Oh, but Max looks down on him, doesn't he? Because his idea is idiotic. What were you thinking putting all these dancers at risk? Oh, come now. It's been over 3 years and that thief hasn't hurt anyone. It'll be fine. You can't assume that. Try to use that damn head of yours from time to time. Sometimes I wonder what the precinct would be like if everyone was as level-headed as our friendly detective. As the arguing below continues, I pull up my walkie to contact Crow on the other end. Do you want me to provoke him with a calling card? He might spill something if I do. That might work. Alright, go check one M and see what happens. Just be sure not to hit him this time, alright? No promises. Getting the okay from Crow, I pull out a blank index card from my inner coat pocket and start writing a message to our opponent down below. Finishing with my iconic signature, I delicately open the window and fling it inside. Detective, please, that thief will... Swiftly landing right by his feet, my impromptu calling card manages to spook him enough to make him jump out of the way. What the hell? This thing could have hit me! And it's a damn shame it didn't. Sheesh. Ignoring the detective's snide remark, Max leans over to see what appeared out of nowhere and almost hit him. Oh, it's from the thief. Everyone in the hall turns to Max upon hearing those words as he picks up the card from the floor. Let's see. To the bratty co-owner whose voice is more prominent than he is. Hey. Had to throw one in there, didn't ya? I couldn't resist. Max clears his throat and continues reading, ignoring my introductory statement. I was aware you had something planned for tonight, but you truly shocked me by inviting the entire ballet to take part in tonight's affair. I assume having them all adorned with a black swan has some sort of meaning considering your love of games. So it is only fair that the one to orchestrate this should explain it. I'd appreciate it if you could do just that. Signed, Forget-Me-Not. Upon reading my calling card in full, he waves it around with a smug look on his face. Did you all hear that? The thief has finally managed to be outdone. My, what an honor it is to be the reason behind such a feat. Celebrating a little too early, aren't you, buddy? Instead of boasting, how's about you finally explain what's going on tonight? I'm also tired of being kept in the dark. Oh, fine, it's only fair. After handing my card over to the detective, Max loudly clears his throat, projecting his voice across the room for everyone to hear. Ah, dear Forget-Me-Not, wherever you are at the moment, I have a little game prepared for you, just as you have said. And it is as follows. As you may have already guessed, practically every dancer in this hall has been given a black swan to wear. Naturally, only one of these is the real one. If you manage to figure out which lovely dancer is the real Jewel, then I concede defeat for tonight. But rest assured, I've made sure that you will never, how would you put it, find the Odette among the Odiles. He finishes off his declaration with a loud, boastful laugh that echoes around the main hall. So that's the game you want to play, huh? Well, fine then. I do love a good mystery. I pull out another index card and quickly scroll my response to his challenge, chucking it down below like before. It lands close to Max again, though not scaring him this time. He picks it up and quickly reads it to himself. I see. Hey, wait a moment. Clearly too annoyed to care at this point, Detective O'Malley swipes the card out of Max's hand and reads it aloud for everyone to hear. Very well, I accept your challenge. Although you are incorrect in the language you chose for tonight's affair. Considering the aforementioned jewel that is my target for tonight, it is only fair to say that I will be searching for the ideal Odile among the Odettes. Signed, Forget-Me-Not. Detective O'Malley delicately tucks the card into their front pocket and then turns to address the officers scattered around the hall. Listen up. You all heard the thief's declaration, and we're going to make sure it doesn't come to fruition. I want an officer next to each group of dancers immediately. Understood? Sir, yes, sir. They receive their orders, the officers begin to disperse themselves around the room, making sure to be a good distance from each group of dancers. You didn't have to push me. And you. You and your father are going to be under the direct supervision of myself and Inspector Harrison. Any objections, Maximilian? No, sir, not at all, sir. Good. That's our detective. The welcome my hip beeps, with Crow's exasperated voice on the other end. Why have you gotten us into this time, kid? Not my fault Max wanted to play a game tonight. I'm just giving him what he wants. We'll still come out on top. Without being next to him, I can still Crow is still shaking his head at me. I swear, you've become more eccentric with each heist we do. Fine, let's play this game of his. I knew you'd come around. Let's work together so we can wipe that smug look off his face. I look back down towards the hall, ready to start playing Max's little game of the night. I hear the walk in my hip beep and answer it while scanning the area. One quick thing before you start, kiddo. See how the security guards are staying next to groups of dancers? Sure do. A little birdie let me in on what frequency they're using for their mics and earpieces, so we can use them to eavesdrop on our guests down below. I also got my hands on a list with any notable people and all the dancers that were given jewels. So not all the dancers were given jewels. Correct. Guess Maximilian didn't want to spend too much on this little game of his. Makes it a bit easier for me, though. Thanks, Crow. No problemo, kid. I have some info on the jewel that might help you along, so call me when you want to hear about it. If you're ever feeling stuck, I'll give you some pointers. Got it. Ooh, oh yeah, we're like full. Oh, check clues, talk to. Oh, we're doing like a full-on inspection examination. Okay. You know, we have intel. Let's start with the intel we have. What's up, kid? What do you want help with? Let's get intel on the jewel. We'll ask about the appearance and the history. Can you tell me what the real jewel looks like? Sure thing. I pull the reference image Crow sent me as he begins to explain. The black swine, dear lord, the black swan is a genuine ruby, so it's a deep, bright red in color. I think I tried to combine the words swan and genuine. What's wrong with me? Maximilian most likely got garnets to act as fake ones, so the difference will be hard to spot from where you are. How fitting, I bet they tried to make it fit perfectly with the Odile costume. What about that swan on the outside? That little guy holding our prize is made of sterling silver. Apparently, a renowned jeweler was commissioned to make it, as it needed to be absolutely perfect. Sterling silver, huh? I imagine that thing needs to be cleaned a lot. Talk about high maintenance. Yeah, I don't want to think about it. That's all the info on how it looks. Anything else? Yeah, let's hear about the history. That could be important to know. Can you tell me about the jewel's history? Something this special has got to have some kind of story behind it. It sure does, though it's a bit depressing. Depressing? Get comfy. This one's a doozy. Crow soon started to explain in detail. In the company's infancy, there's a certain prima ballerina. She was ecstatic, having just been given the honor of being the prima right before the company's upcoming production of Swan Lake. But it wasn't the Odette role she was so excited about, but the short role of Odile instead. The Black Swan, the fake Odette, that the evil Rothbart uses to trick Prince Siegfried near the end of the story. This is her favorite scene of the whole ballet. In her words, she described the Black Swan as confident and beautiful, something she wished to be. Overjoyed, she practiced tirelessly day in and out, hoping to perfect her role for her debut performance. And as a personal gift for reaching the status of prima ballerina, she gathered all her money to commission a jewel for herself. The very jewel we're after, the Black Swan, which she nicknamed Odile. The night of the ballet came, and everyone was ready to make this production the most memorable one yet. But right in the middle of her Odile performance, she fainted on stage. Oh, she pushed herself too hard, didn't she? Yep, she had worked herself heavily and passed away in the hospital a day later. Oof. Man, you weren't kidding about being depressing. But if it was something she made for herself, then how come it was worn at the show? That's because of the director at the time. Heartbroken by what happened, he managed that every prima ballerina after would wear the Black Swan while playing the role of Odile, hoping to keep her memory alive and honor it as well. That's really sweet. Yet Maxie here is using it to toy with me. Makes me want to punch him again. Damn kid, we've got a job to do. Fair enough. How old is Black Swan anyways? If it was made that long ago, it must be pretty old. The jewel itself is about 25 years old, and it's been taken care of incredibly well in those years. But considering the materials and its history, it needs to be handled with care. Alright. Anything else, kid? That's actually kind of an important detail, actually. That's all I need. Thanks, Crow. No problemo, kid. Good luck. So if it needs to be handled with care, if we notice anyone being a little too aggressive with it, that'll be a sign it's not the real one, then. Play with prima ballerina would be a little obvious, I feel, but let's peep them anyway. I turn my attention to the quartet of dancers near the west wall of the exhibit room. Yeah, that little posse, I immediately recognize the young couple as the lead dancers of the ballet. Skimming through the list of names, I learned that they are Magdalena Volkov and Damian Petrov. Chatting with the lead stars are Anya Merkovich, the shortest one, and Natalia Ross, who is standing taller than the rest of their group. Hey Magda, a little birdie told me you know who has the real jewel. What? No way you do. For someone who was told to keep quiet, you sure are running your mouth. Ouch. Ms. Volkov is living up to her name, I see. Oh, shush, Nat. But fine, I do know. The director convinced Mr. Wilkinson to let me pick who has the jewel. Oh, interesting. That makes sense. It is your turn to wear it, after all. So, any hints as to who has it? Absolutely not. You're the most protective of that jewel out of anyone in the company. If you're not the one handling it, then who is? Come on, Magda, inquisitive minds want to know. If I give you a hint, will you stop bugging me about this? Maybe. Fine. I gave it to someone who stands out so I could see them from here. Ms. Volkov turns her head away with a huff. I'm not saying any more. Oh, very interesting. But how does anyone stand out? We're all dressed similar-ish. I'm so confused. Straightening her brow, Miss Merkovich starts feeling for the jewel hanging around her neck. Oh yeah, she's definitely not handling it with care. That explains a lot. Ms. Volkov, on the other hand, snaps at her the moment she sees this. Anya, would you quit doing that? Startled, Miss Merkovich quickly takes her hand off the jewel and hides it sheepishly behind her back. Sorry. I swear, no matter what it is, you always have to fiddle with something. You need to treat your jewelry carefully, fake or not. You never change, do you, Anya? So Anya Merkovich has a tendency to fiddle with things. I'll write that down for later. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm assuming if we check clues. Because that does tell us it needs to be handled with care. So if she's fiddling about with it, that tells us exactly... That basically means that, yeah, she probably isn't the one who has it. And I doubt she would be asking if she had it herself. So I don't think anyone in this group would have it. I'm actually going to save because it has been a minute. I don't know if it matters if I save here or not, but you never know. Alright, let's work our way from left to right. Let me just step a little bit. I look around the room until I spot a group of dancers off by themselves near the farthest wall. Matching their faces with lists of names, I learned the group holds Brianna Riddell, Jacob Lambert, Anne-Marie Fabron, and Tia Murdoch, respectively. And Brianna, what have you been looking at on that phone of yours for so long? Been scrolling through Squeaker to learn more about this thief of ours. Let me guess, it's Squeaker instead of Twitter. That's cute. Didn't expect them to be this popular, though. The tag's been trending for the past 2 hours. Let me see. Miss Fabron leans past Mr. Lambert, trying to get a better look at Miss Riddell's social media feed. Dang, look at these squeaks. A lot of people must be head over heels for that thief. Some of these are pretty funny, too. Like, I wish I was in there. FMN, if you read this, I'm your biggest fan. Ooh, and this one. OMG, do you think they'll have to Princess carry one of the dancers out? Oh. How did you do that with your you know what? Never mind. Oh, do you do that with your mouth? Well, that's impressive. You guys are more than just some glorified magician. I feel offended by that remark. Miss Riddell stuffs her phone back into her purse, placing her constant scrolling with an annoyed tapping of her right heel. I open up Squeaker to distract myself from this, but it's just making me more stressed. I wish we knew who had the dang jewel. Why'd they have to keep it a secret from everyone? I can kinda understand why. To trick your enemy and all that. Well, I imagine whoever has it is even more stressed than you are, Bree. Miss Murdoch places her hand on her chin, staring at her colleague in a comical manner. Well, it's Brianna's one that has it, hence her being so nervous. Oh, shut up, Tia. What are you, the next Holmes? I'll just laugh it off, making the mood upbeat once more. You know, even though Tia was kidding, I couldn't believe you had the real deal, Bree. Huh? Why? You're one of the most trustworthy members of the company. Not to mention just in general. Everyone can rely on you easily, and you're nice to boot. I can attest to that. You, Irina, Adriana, and Alex are the most trustworthy out of all of us. If I had to choose who had the jewel, it'd be you or them. What? In the midst of Mr. Lambert and Miss Fabron's flattery, Miss Murdoch lets out a laugh at seeing her friend's face turn bright red. Ah, come on, you two. You're gonna make Brianna faint with all this. Look at her. She's turned into a beetroot. Tia, shut up. The group playfully laughs together, seeing Miss Riddell so embarrassed. Meanwhile, I'm writing down all the information I gleaned from their conversation. It might seem minor, but trustworthiness would be a good thing to consider in finding out who was given the real jewel. Gotta consider everything after all. Brianna, Irina, Adriana, and Alex. Who was in this group again? Let's see. It was Anya. Let's see, Anya. Well, I already forgot. Wait, what's this list? Anya, Irina, Adriana, and Alex. Who was in this group again? It was Anya. It was Anya. Let's see. Anya. Well, I already forgot. Wait, what's the list? Wait, what's the list? Wait, what's the list? Wait, what's the list? Yeah, I know I include Anya and Alex. Oh, Magdalene, I remember Ms. Volkov. I don't think... No, let's talk to more people. Right in the middle of the hall is a trio of dancers chatting amongst themselves. In their group, I learned they are Amelia Gray, Adriana Hill, and Alex Hayes, respectively. Oh, those are like 2 out of 4 of those people mentioned, so... Hey, do you think that mask guy would let me keep this? If it was one of the fakes, I mean. You know those are supposed to be fakes of that jewel. I don't mean if the swan, I just mean the jewel itself. If it isn't the genuine one, it's still so pretty to look at. I wonder how they managed to get so many like it. Miss Hayes, who has been silent this whole conversation, looks at her own and Miss Gray's jewels with intrigue. They probably use garnets for the fake jewels. I read online that they're often used to impersonate rubies since they're the closest in color. Makes sense, so I'm surprised you studied up on that. Did you do that because of the heist? Yeah. I wanted to learn about how fake jewels are made and what that Max guy might come up with. You know, sometimes they use colored glass instead of fakes. It's honestly kind of a cool read. Now you've piqued my interest. Share some with me when we're back at the hotel a lot later. While Miss Hill and Miss Hayes chat with each other, I can see Miss Gray looking fondly at her jewel. As she looks back up to rejoin the conversation, she tilts her head in confusion while looking at her fellow dancers. Hey, Adria, I think your jewel's a little dirty. Miss Hill abruptly stops talking and looks at her own jewel in confusion. Is it? I haven't touched it at all tonight. Though yours does look brighter than mine. Mine too, that's weird. Miss Hayes takes the time to look around the room, staring at her fellow dancers and the jewels hanging proudly around their necks. Well, I can see there's only 3 of us that have jewels that bright. Magdalena, Irina, and UM. You all have the brightest jewels. Wait, so does that mean I actually have the real one? Maybe. If not, then you got one of the prettier fakes at least. Oh man, I feel really conflicted now. Only the handful of jewels are bright. That means they're the most likely candidates of being the real deal. Poor Miss Gray, though. Part of me hopes she doesn't have the real one now. Okay, so interesting, I think that's the second time. Irina? Yeah, this is the second time her name has come up. If it comes up a third time, I have a strong suspicion that might be our mark. Okay, now we just got these 2 groups left. I look back down towards Max's group, hoping to see if he'll let anything slip. In the little group, I can see 2 different conversations going on at the moment. Detective O'Malley dealing with Max, and the Chief talking to Sir Wilkinson. Which conversation should I eavesdrop? I wonder if I'll have the option to do both. I'm gonna save here really quick, just be safe. I know Sir Wilkinson is in good spirits, so he might be willing to kind of say something to Harrison. But again, these 2 have kind of a toxic relationship. Well, not toxic, but they're definitely like they're butting heads a little bit. I can see one of them getting a little heated and letting something slip. Let's check with them. I look over to our friendly detective, who's currently having to deal with Max going on about his genius plot. And while it was difficult to persuade Mr. Durov, it was worth it in the end. Even you can agree that the thief won't have their way so easily this time. But as Max drones on, Detective O'Malley isn't paying them any mind. Simply surveying the surroundings and keeping as many tabs on the floor as they can. They then turn back to Max. Since this is your idea, I imagine you know who has the jewel? Of course I do. Who do you think I am, Detective? With the jewel's current location, I can keep an eye on it quite easily from where we are. Where he is, huh? It's probably somewhere close by, then. You can keep an eye on it, huh? The detective simply stares, keeping thought and eyeing him up and down before responding. Show me your pockets. Huh? What? Do you assume I have the jewel on me? How absurd. I would never stoop to something as low as making this whole game only to have it on me. You're so innocent that you won't mind if I conduct a search to make sure. I refuse. Why, if you so much as look in my coat pockets, I'll... Yes, Detective Rightway Detective. I want them to become boyfriends. I'm just saying. I can see it. I can see. I see the vision. I can see the ship. Without any hesitation, Detective O'Malley starts their formal search. Checking every pocket and patting down areas that could have hidden the jewel as thoroughly as they are able to at that moment. At the end of it all, however, they turn empty-handed, left with just an angry Max. See, I told you. I don't have the jewel. Now apologize. For doing my job. For not trusting me. Am I really that untrustworthy? No comment. Clearly offended by the detective's bluntness, Max turns away, refusing to speak with him anymore. The detective pays no mind as they return to scanning the room top to bottom from their current location. So with someone close, I have a feeling. I'm gonna go through the rest of the dialogue first, but I have a feeling it's gonna be our lovely lady over here. Then back towards two. Okay, so yep, same dialogue. Chief Harrison and Sir Wilkinson. The older gentlemen are a stark contrast to the younger duo next to them, as the two of them joyfully trade quips with one another, also they're old friends. And I thought for sure the old man was about to pop a left hook right on in his face. Ho ho, what a tale. Amid their chatter, Sir Wilkinson looks around the hall, eyeing all the jewels hanging around the dancer's necks with intrigue. You know, this is the first time Max has done something like this. I'm quite impressed at the hard work he put in to get all this ready. Oh, certainly. We worked together with the ballet company for ages to make sure everything was perfect. You won't believe the details that went into making all these fakes. Oh, I can only imagine. Although I'm more impressed he managed to convince the director to take part in this, knowing full well how much that jewel means to the company. Is there some sort of agreement they made while making their arrangements? Nothing I can get past you, sir. But yes, a few conditions were made by the director that had to be followed for this whole plan to exist. He wanted to make sure that someone who knows the worth of the jewel handled it, so no one in the force has the jewel. Does this include yourself, Inspector? Naturally. I see, what perfect sense. The older gentleman continued to chortle on as I pull out my phone to jot this new intel down. Not one of the police force has it, huh? Makes sense. You don't want someone you don't know handling something that important. Alright, we got one group left and have a feeling this is our mark. Off in the corner of the hall I spot two figures chatting on their lonesome. The older gentleman I eavesdropped before, who was against this idea, and... it's a dancer from before. The really pretty one. I looked through the list of names Crow gave me until I saw her on the list. Irina Lebedev. Irina, huh? I finally know her name. I just wish it was magically asking her, though. Amid my giggling, I noticed a jewel hanging around her neck, snapping back into reality. Right, the heist. Focusing my attention back to the task at hand, I listen in on the conversation she and the man next to her are having. Try not to look so worried. How could I not, Inca? This whole situation is just simply absurd. I can't believe you and the other dancers are being put through this. You know what the director is like when his mind is set. He and Mr. Wilkinson meshed well. Unfortunately so. Mr. Durov sighs while giving a worried glance at the jewel hanging proudly on Miss Lebedev's neck. I wasn't even allowed to know who has the real jewel. All I can hope for now is that security will do its job and we can go back to the hotel in peace. As Miss Lebedev tries to ease Mr. Durov's worries, I notice that, compared to everyone else, she is quite tall. Why is that highlighted? Oh, and everyone keeps talking about how it's somewhere they can easily see it. Oh, of course. Even without focusing, I can pick her out from the rest because of her height and without using my binoculars, too. I knew she was tall when I bumped into her earlier, but it seemed more obvious when she's dressed in civilian wear. I think I'm pretty sure. Because she's been mentioned twice. Everyone talks about how they can easily see it, and that tall thing was clearly a comment. However, before I do pull the trigger, I'm also going to save really quick just to be safe. Before I do pull the trigger, though, we do have an ad break coming up. Regrettably, I do run a 3-minute ad break every hour to disable pre-roll ads for anyone who may or may not be coming in. So, I'm going to be gone for about 3 or so minutes while that runs, but I will be back shortly, so I'll see y'all in a minute. Okay. Alright, and we should be back from our ad break. Once again, I do apologize. We have these ad breaks once every hour just so we can prevent pre-roll ads for anyone who may or may not be coming to the channel. Because I hate ads, but I like pre-roll ads even less, so let's not have anyone deal with that. I'm going to apologize every time I want, you fucker. I'm sorry, that was a little hostile, I apologize. But anyway, now that I'm back, I think I'm ready to pull the trigger. I'm like 99% sure it's Irina, but we'll see. cry, 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 and fill a cup with your tears because I'm kind of thirsty. I forgot to grab water while I was away. Although I stopped playing, actually. I think I have enough information to make a deduction. Let's look over my information again thoroughly. I can pick who I think is a jewel from the list on my phone. Let's give it a shot. Oh. Yeah, okay, so... we know Maximilian doesn't have a jewel. Keep an eye on it. Someone who stands out in some way. So yeah, that's two clues we have that kind of allude to, like, her height. So I think I'm, like, pretty sure it's Irina. Here's to be the tallest of the dancers in attendance. I actually wonder, does it have, like... Oh, that's actually kind of cool. It, like, is their role, too. Court gesture. Signets. Court of Four Swans. The Dark Mage Rothbard. Oh, I didn't know the director himself took place in the play. That's pretty neat. Two Swans. Part of the Two Swans. Part of the Four. Damien. Angelina. I do like a little extra profile. It's kind of fun to keep track of everyone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Irina, though. I'll look over the information obtained, just be sure of my line of thinking. Reading through it again, a huge smirk appears on my face. My deduction's starting to make sense. So, that's how it is. After chuckling to myself, I pull out my walkie to contact Crow, who's been waiting for my signal on the other end. I figured it out. Get ready for the next stage. On it. Good luck down there, kid. After he hangs up, I hop in position with a little stretch. Let's finally get this show started. See, Detective, I told you. We're at the announced time and look, nothing. That thief wasn't able to figure out my puzzle, so I This is... The sudden darkness causes all intents to stop their conversations, looking at each other with worry in their eyes. While the dancers whisper to each other, unfamiliar with the situation, everyone else immediately springs into action. It's the thief! Officers, don't move a muscle from your positions. Yes, sir. Where are you going to show up this time, thief? Giving the detective a little tap on the shoulder, their face turns pale, realizing where I am. Why, right here, of course, detective. My apologies for the delay, my dear guests, and outside the museum. Welcome to my show tonight. Unable to hold in their excitement, the crowd outside the museum screams in joy at my long-awaited arrival. Forget me not! Forget me not! As per usual, the moon outside is a stark contrast to the mood within the museum itself. I turn to the group of dancers behind me, all whispering nervously to each other as I give them a graceful bow. It's a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance, dancers of the Pavlova Ballet Company. Hold it right there, thief. I straightened back up and stared Detective O'Malley straight in the eyes. A good evening to you as well, Detective. So you finally shut up. I know this distraction will keep you at bay forever. You know me so well, Detective. In contrast to Detective O'Malley's determination, Maximilian simply stares at me, his face having gone pale. You being right here now, that can't mean what I think it means, does it? And solve your little puzzle? Why, yes it does. I believe you said it yourself. If you manage to figure out which lovely dancer is the real Joel, then I can see defeat for tonight. Was that not what you said earlier, Maxie Boy? Maxie Boy? I start swelling bullets at my jabbing remarks, while meanwhile I spot Detective O'Malley, and a handful of officers trying to hold in their chuckling at my playful nicknaming. Even if I did say that, do you really think I'm just going to let you take the jewel? Security! In the corners of my vision, on cue with Max's statement, I see the numerous officers staying their ground next to their assigned groups of dancers. Instead of being intimidated, however, I can't but let out a small laugh. And what are you laughing at this time? I love how, like, even, like, the chief, like, O'Malley's just kind of like, oh, this is actually pretty fun. You can't possibly be thinking about succeeding, are you? You seem quite confident, Detective. You simply learned from your little trick last time, so both the breaker and any other light switches have been secured. Even then, the jewel's on a person this time. Which makes it impossible to take a jewel off of them in a timely manner, is what you're saying, correct? You're right. This is so foreign to me. I don't know if I'll do it. I comically tug at my collar, gazing around the room with a sad look on my face. It's so stuffy in here, too. Must be because of all the people. Let's fix that, shall we? Wait, what are you? Before Detective O'Malley can react, I pull out a remote from my pocket and push it. Soon after, the fans and vents in the room start blowing harder, creating a strong wind that circles the room. It also reveals... What is this? Feathers? The whole room becomes engulfed with countless feathers, attaching themselves from their hiding spots on the walls. Amidst the chaos of the sunstorm, I start running over to my target, my walkie in one hand giving orders to Crow. Stage 2 is a go. On it. Stuffing my walkie back into my pocket, I make it to my target and quickly ring one of my arms around their waist. What are you? I suggest you hang on tight. As the officers notice me making my move, I pull out my grappling hook and aim it at the ceiling above me. Ah! Saving at top speed back up to the roof, I spot the detective pushing through the feathers to the nearest employee's stairwell. Forget-me-not! And escaping the chaos in the exhibit hall, I make it to the quiet rooftops away from the museum with Miss Lebedev in my arms. As I try to put my grappling hook away, my grip on her hip slips, causing her to fall out of my arms. Ah, watch out! I quickly catch her, wrapping both my arms around her back as she instinctively wraps hers around my shoulders for stability. Are you alright? I'm fine. That is a cute shot. Can I... It doesn't look like I can hide the background from here. That's okay. Our eyes lock for a brief moment. The glow of the city behind us barely illuminating our faces, as I quickly scramble to get her back on her feet. I am so sorry about that. You're not hurt or anything, are you? The write-up didn't cause any damage or anything? But Miss Lebedev doesn't give a response. She simply stares at me with a confused look on her face. The most bizarre thing greets me afterwards. She lets out a cute laugh. First I've ever heard like it. I was expecting her to yell or perhaps fight back, but instead she just laughs. What's so funny? You're so different from what I imagined. The way Mr. Wilkinson went on, I figured you were simply abhorrent. I fought off the part of me that wants to curl up into an embarrassed ball at seeing my crush laughing so adorably to give her a response. Now please, Max doesn't know a thing about me. If you really didn't want to know what I'm like, you're much better off asking Detective O'Malley. They practically know me like the back of their hand. I see. As much as I want to continue this idle chatter, I remember my task at hand and clear my throat to address Miss Lebedev directly. Miss Lebedev, I assume you realize why I whisked you out of the exhibit hall. So, let me be blunt. You hold the real Black Swan, don't you? She delicately holds the jewel in her hands, staring at it for a brief moment before looking back at me with firm resolve. I suppose there's no point in hiding it. You're correct. I do. But how did you figure it out? It's quite simple, actually. I overheard Ms. Volkov and Max both say they could easily keep an eye on the jewel from where they were. You're the tallest one of your peers down below, making you stand out among the others even in formal wear. Plus, the jewel you hold is one of the brightest out of all of them, a feature that's reflective of the jewel's authenticity. I can see the surprised look that's appeared on her face as she takes it all in. But isn't that too little information to make a conclusion out of? Oh, of course, but that's why there's more. How delicately you handle your old jewel comparatively, as well as remarks from your peers that you're considered one of Miss Volkov's most trusted companions. The former facts were what could be considered coincidence, but combined with the latter, it points at you being the true holder of the jewel. Does that help shed some light on my reasoning? Ms. Lebedev blinks at me, stunned silent at my deduction before finally responding. Wow. You're sounding more like a detective than a thief, if I may be honest. Why, thank you. But... She pauses, turning away to think to herself for a moment before looking back at me. What will you do now? Take the jewel from me? You've already taken me this far. I'm caught off guard by her blunt yet honest question, which is a fair question, all things considered. Doesn't sound like Desiree's ever kidnapped someone before. After taking some time to think it over, I look back at her with a soft smile. I don't normally do this, but keep it. Huh? You heard me. I've already proven myself to the detective and put on a wonderful show for my audience. I have no more need for the jewel. Besides, I pause for a brief moment, think about what I should say in the moment. Oh. Okay, we're saving. Try to say something cool. Don't. We'll say something cool. The jewel suits a beautiful swan such as yourself perfectly. My hand flies up to slap my face faster than it ever has, immediately regretting my attempt at flirting. That was the dumbest thing I've ever said in my life. You're quite adorable for being a charming thief. I can feel my face turning the brightest red, barely unable to process the kind words she said about me. Off in the distance behind us, I can hear a familiar voice interrupting our heartwarming moment. Forget-me-not! Stop where you are and hand over Miss Lebedev. Or unhand Miss Lebedev. They never fail to catch up to me, huh? Turning back around to my guests, I give her a graceful bow and a wink. I hope you have a good night, Miss Lebedev. Farewell. Before a friendly detective can catch up to me, I start making my escape further down the line of rooftops to reconvene with my partner, who is waiting patiently for me. What took you so long, kid? Hey, where's the jewel? I'll explain back home. For now, let's book it before the detective catches up. Got it. Let's jam. The two of us climb down from the rooftops and hop into our getaway vehicle, ready to take the long way back to the act to lose any cops on our tail. All the while, I can't help gazing back from time to time, thinking about the moment I shared with the woman that captured my eyes and my thoughts during the ballet. Miss Lebedev. As I watch Forget-Me... Oh, we're switching perspectives. As I watch Forget-Me-Not vanish into the night, I hear the concerned voice of Detective O'Malley coming from behind me. Turning around, I see him hopping across the rooftops as fast as he can, keeping surprisingly good balance. Miss Lebedev, are you alright? You're not hurt, are you? No, not at all. Oh, that's good. The jewel is safe and sound as well, see? I delicately hold the black swan that hangs from my neck to the detective, confirming to them that it remains in perfect condition. Yes, the jewel. Right. Anyways, I imagine you've had quite enough of being up here. They take some time to catch their breath, then hold out their hand, offering it to me. Let's get off these rooftops and head back to the museum. Of course. I grab hold of them and we make our way down the streets to the streets below, walking back to the museum with careful yet hasty steps. Chapter 2, Irina. Oh, so we're gonna have like a whole chapter from Irina's point of view now then? Livingston Museum of Art and History. May 14th, 11:35 p.m. Ugh. Re-entering the museum, I see the state of disarray was left in by Forget-Me-Not's trick. The fans and vents still running wild due to the fierce hijacking, blowing air all around the room. A lot of countless feathers scattered all around the floor, many of which land my colleagues are brushing them off themselves. It's quite a mess in here, isn't it? You could say that again. The thief really did outnumber this time. It's going to take hours to clean everything up at this rate. Again. Again? You don't want to know, trust me. Irina's back! The detective and I look out where that outburst came from, and we see a small group of my fellow dancers running towards us. I was around the hall to see the commotion and join in, despite being in the middle of an on-scene interrogation. Irina, you're safe. Are you alright, Irina? I'm sorry I worried everyone so much. But I'm back now. As everyone hulls around me, letting out their pent-up worry, I see someone else running towards me from the eastern wall with even more vigor. Inka! My uncle. Oh, that's her uncle. That explains what. Okay. My uncle, looking pale and shaken up, wraps his arms around me in the biggest hug he's ever given me. I wrap mine around him in return, being just as happy to see him as he is to see me. You have no idea how worried I was about you. Are you hurt? Did that thief do anything to you? It's alright, Uncle. I'm fine, see? You alright, though? You look absolutely pale. I thought I was going to faint. One moment you're next to me, then as soon as the feathers lit up, you were gone. I was this close to knocking some sense into that young man for putting you through this before you walked in. Not to where my uncle was pointing, only to find Mr. Wilkinson sulking in the corner where we stood before the heist. Amidst our joyous reunion, Detective O'Malley clears her throat and addresses us directly. I don't mean to interrupt, but I'd like Miss Lebedev to come with us to the precinct for some questioning. Uncle turns around to the detective, his face of glee quickly changing to a stern glare. She has been through so much already, and yet you ask her to go to the precinct immediately? I know, and I deeply apologize, but we do need your niece's statement. She's come the closest to the thief out of anyone so far, so we'd like any information she can give us. You know, honestly, that's valid. Is that alright, Miss Lebedev? Yes, that's perfectly fine. I don't mind at all. But Inka, don't worry, Uncle, I'll be fine. I look back at the detective after consoling my uncle. Would it be alright if my uncle came along? I think we'd feel much more at ease if the two of us were together. Not at all. I don't mind. We need to ask for his testimony as well, so that works out for us. We can get two birds stoned at once. That's how the saying goes, right? That's perfect, thank you. Satisfied with the agreement, Detective O'Malley makes her way towards Chief Harrison, most likely to relay that information to him. Meanwhile, I bring my attention back to Uncle, who is looking less pale than before. Is this alright, Uncle? I suppose that it is. However, are you going to be alright? I imagine you're absolutely exhausted after tonight. A little. But no worries. I can handle an hour or so of giving my testimony to the detective. And then can return to the hotel with everyone else in peace. Uncle simply shakes his head, clearly still worried about my well-being as he strains his back. Fair enough, just don't push yourself too hard, Inka. Uncle begins to walk towards the detective and chief, who are talking about the case in detail to one another. Before I join them, I turn back around to the others, who were dragged back into giving testimony by the officers in the hall. I'll be back soon, everyone. We'll hold down the fort for you, Irina. See you back at the hotel. Tell us everything that happened later, alright? Of course. Take care. After waving goodbye to everyone, I start walking over to Uncle and the rest, who have been waiting for me this entire time. My apologies for the wait. Shall we get going? I couldn't have said it better myself. Let's make tracks back to the precinct. My apologies, but we'll be using a patrol car to drive back to the station, so it might be a bit cramped in the back. Not to worry, we can manage. Very well, let's head out before it gets even later. As the group starts to make our way out of the museum, my fatigue starts to catch up to me. I'm going to calm my nerves. I slide my fingers on my right ring finger, but stop in place when I feel it oddly bare. Oh, where's my ring? It was right here. Did I drop it somewhere, or? I start to panic, looking around the hall feverishly from the entryway to try and catch a glimpse of it shining under the lights by chance. In the midst of my panic, I hear Uncle calling me. Inka, is everything alright? Yes, Uncle, I'll be right there. I know I had it with me. Oh, I hope I didn't lose it. I try to take my mind off of it, catching up with the others outside in the parking lot. Alright, and I think this is actually a good place to stop for the night. Because I'll be honest, I think I said this earlier. Everything in all the Studio Elan games being voice acted has kind of spoiled me, because there's a lot more reading than I'm used to in like such a short span of time. I do like this so far though. This is cute. I do kind of like how there's like actual like deduction and like reasoning. And I'm hoping that comes back into play again later too, because that's like kind of like a fun little like thing to think about. Even if the answer was kind of like a little like, okay, it probably is her. It still was kind of nice to like be like, okay, at least there's like logic to it being her. So, but I enjoyed that a bit. Definitely quite a bit. Let me see. I probably should choose a raid target for tonight. You know, I'm gonna send y'all that. I may just send y'all into the void for tonight. Yeah, just for tonight, I'm gonna send y'all into the void. But I'll definitely be playing more of this next week, I think. This was definitely a nice little ride. And I'm actually excited to see how it continues. Like, the thief stuff is actually a lot of fun. But, yeah, that will be it for me tonight, so... yeah. Thank you again for the gift subs, Gil. That was incredibly kind of you. I'm gonna get you back somehow. I don't know how yet, but I'm gonna figure it out, and then you'll be in trouble. But otherwise, have a good day. Have a good evening, whatever time zone you're in, and I'll see you when I see you. Okay? Okay. Goodbye.